But before we start the review, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment below and join the discussion. New podcast coming out on Mondays and Thursdays. The Statistic Pod.
Some niggas that can rap their ass off that can't make a song.
I agree.
So I think it's.
And I feel like I probably like a battle rapper that can make a song.
You battle rap?
I don't battle rap.
Hello, welcome back to Statistic TV Show, boy didnt, DJ T-Cell, and we're back today for another review. And today we're reviewing the one and only Blueface with his album released on the 8th of August 2019 called Dirtbag. Now, Dirtbag is probably I don't know what to categorize it as, whether it's an EP or an album. We had the same kind of similar scenario with the Good Music rollout, where you saw Teyana Taylor, Pusha T, Kid Cudi, as well as Kanye West all release albums that were 7 to 8 tracks long. This is no different. This is kind of an 8-track album or EP. I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm gonna treat it as an album because it's like the same length, one more track more than Pusha T's Daytona album. So let me go with that. This album is to be put up and burned at the stake. We are doing a new style of reviewing, which we're going track to track. I'm gonna give it out of 10. I'm gonna give something out of 10, in which in the end I'm gonna add up all the scores. I will divide that and then multiply by 100 to get the final percentage. Jonathan Michael Porter, also known as Blueface, affiliated with the LA gang known as the Crips. He's actually a very proud Crip. His name is Blueface, meaning obviously the Crips repping the color blue. And he became kind of a viral meme due to how offbeat he is in everything. This guy literally had sex with 1,000 women in a month since he became famous. That, my friends, is time for you to go to your doctor. He started rapping in 2017, literally 2 years ago. He told the Breakfast Club that he literally let me do it, let me see how it goes. And 2 years later, I'm talking about him reviewing an album. Wow, making me rethink my life here. His most successful feat or triumph to date would be the track Tatiana, which went platinum, and it was the track of his mixtape called Famous Crip. To be honest, I didn't really enjoy Tatiana at first listen. I couldn't handle this guy's voice. He is not even trained at all to be on the vocals. I personally think that of him. When Cardi B jumped on the remix, I guess that's when I started playing Tatiana out in clubs. I don't really have to. There's so many songs nowadays, but it does have that factor, which goes on to my next point in regards to Blueface. To me, he's not really an artist that I would go out and go on a limb and say, hey, listen to this guy called Blueface, I think he's amazing. Or, oh, that new Blueface joint, I'm gonna play it out today in the club. It just doesn't, he doesn't have that on his own, but his features is what helps him a lot with his projects. Speaking of features, this album includes features from Offset, Rich the Kid, The Game, Mozzie, and Lil Pump. He also includes production credits from FB's production, the legendary producer known as Scott Storch. I was very surprised to hear he was actually on this project. Scum Beats, Mike Crook, and Honored Band, which believe he makes a lot of songs with Offset. Don't quote me on that, could be mistaken. And also this album actually peaked at number 48 on the Billboard 200 charts for album. Okay, enough of the background info, let's get on to the song by song review. Okay, the first track of this album-esque EP, I guess, is pretty much a track called Dirtbag, and personally I gave this a 3 out of 10, and I'm gonna give a bit of definition for someone who doesn't know what dirtbag is. According to Urban Dictionary, dirtbag for someone who's back to their lifestyle, abandoning their social norms, such as working 9 to 5, etc. And in this case, in the context of the track alone, he's back onto doing his gang business, is racketeering, beating people up. I personally gave it a 3 purely because of the production on the track. I didn't really feel Blueface at all. It was okay, but it's very, very skippable. The beat was really, it was good, and I didn't want to give it a 7 or a 6 because that would mean I actually enjoyed Blueface input on this track. Bust Down featuring Offset was the second track on this album, which I gave 5 out of 10. I personally felt that Offset was the highlight on this album. There was a lot of lazy lyrics here. One of them is, how can I go broke when Cash Money is a label? I mean, this was obvious. It doesn't really serve up much to think about. Also, another lazy lyric was, always had me a vision, but this ain't that so Raven. B word, I fly like a raven. I bought her more like the Ravens. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend and say this is probably the best wordplay there is on the word Ravens. I mean, for someone who's trying to play on words with Baltimore Ravens and say Baltimore like Ravens, you could have just said Baltimore like Ravens. I mean, that ain't my bar. That's someone else. I saw that on the internet on Genius. I think the name of the guy is Justin. But I thought that was a great bar to play on the words of Baltimore Ravens. But I mean, he didn't really put much thought into it. I do admire the creativity though. I do think that he did try his best to do that, but like I said, I don't like, he's got the ideas. I think it's just left for him now to perfect his technique and his delivery. Disrespectful is the next track on the album. This is track 3. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Really and truly, I believe it's the production that I favored more, but I did like him on here a lot, mainly for his references. He really does have the best production, like on this album. That's something you're gonna hear me say a lot on this project, because I can't fault the production game on this. But my problem with him is that the fact that he's over reliant on it. But that to be said, I like the fact that he played with bop 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 the same way that he was going with bum bum bum, kind of reminiscent of the track with of the B2K single bump bump bump. Also, I like the fact that he says it's gonna diddy bop. Obviously, I think it's an accidental play of words because diddy bop is actually a thing, but I think it's an actual accidental play of words. The fact that it also relates to the fact that Diddy actually appeared on the track with B2K bump bump bump. I don't know whether to credit him on that or not. I also like the lyric S word, all I got is thick and bubblegum, which was first recited by Ice Cube on the track Get Off My Dick and Tell Your B Word to come here in 1990. This was the first time it was actually recited. Admittedly, this was one of the better tracks of the album, the standout track of the album, and it didn't actually have any features on it. So there goes me eating my own words earlier. But that being said, that this doesn't negate the fact that this pretty much highlights any sort of potential it may have, especially if he finesse and was to work on his technique and delivery, but it still has a long way to go. The next track is Daddy featuring Rich the Kid. I gave this a 6 out of 10 purely because of the production was really high on this, and I think this has potential to also go off in a club if that was to be the case. And also I will have to give him credit as well. He did manage to flow on beat, especially when he was shouting out the designer brands like Gucci, Louis, Prada, etc. And he managed to flow on beat with that. Again, though, even with that being said, Rich the Kid was the one that stole the show in the end. We're starting to know it's a trend here, aren't we? Bussing was the track that Scott Storch produced. I gave this a 5 out of 10. 5 purely going for the production. I did not like the fact, I mean, if you have Scott Storch producing for you, the least you can do is at least bring your A game. And I felt like he was thinking he brought his A game, but in my opinion, it was all over the place. I can't break down this guy's style so much. I mean, a minute ago I was saying how he managed to actually was on beat with Daddy featuring Rich the Kid. I also mentioned how he actually did try to deliver some good lines in disrespectful, and now this is just disrespectful in bossing, where it's just went the other way. I mean, Lil Pump coming in, I actually at first thought Lil Pump again stole the show, but then I realized that both these guys are the same, just different ways of delivering things, and they're both as annoying as each other. So I just gave it a 5 just because it's Scott Storch. I mean, taking them out of the equation, and you can just listen to the instrumental. You can just listen to the instrumental version of this and pretty much enjoy yourself. Pretty much imagine your fate. I personally would love to hear G-Eazy on this track. I know you all don't rate G. I know some people might think, why G-Eazy? But I personally feel like this track is actually made for him. That being said, next track is Stop Capping featuring The Game. I gave this a 6 out of 10 purely because of the fact that The Game's performance on this actually encapsulates what I was talking about earlier in regards to him needing to work on his rapping ability. Capping, for those that don't know, means lying. I can't explain it, but when The Game came on, there was a big difference with the delivery. I would say there was a huge difference. I'm talking, Game was clear. Blueface, you kind of have to like, okay, it's like, what are you trying to say? What is it? Why do you sound so muffled? Half the time, because I don't think he has that presence at all in on a track. He doesn't command that presence. He's just talking to me. But when you hear Game, you can actually hear him bring that rigor, that natural talent, that natural rawness to him. So with like, he personally thought he was bringing his true A game, and then we see The Game actually brings and shows him what A game actually is, and tell him to stop capping, literally chill. Because like, but anyway, again, at the same time, I'm wondering why The Game would appear on this album. Yes, it's very commercial, and I'm gonna go on to this in the final verdict of the album. Let me move on to the next track. The next track actually is Gang featuring Mozzie. I gave this a 4 out of 10. Mozzie's performance was also good, but honestly, the track wasn't that interesting, in my opinion. I was completely put off by the fact that he turned on auto-tune. Blueface turned on auto-tune and still sounded pretty bad on auto-tune. I don't get it. I don't get how you can turn on auto-tune and still sound awful. But I actually wish that, again, Mozzie and The Game didn't actually feature on this, because their bars are the standout of the show. It's so easy for it to stand out that you lose attention on Blueface. Like, it's just not there. Bleed It was a awful entry, and especially when it said you've been rapping, especially the lyric when it says you've been rapping, I do this on the weekends. It shows. Now the final verdict, I'm gonna add up all the scores. It added up to 38 out of 80, which, if I divide that. Now, if I divide 38 divided by 80, multiply it by 100, you're gonna get 48%. Now, 48% is, it wasn't actually 48%, it was 47.5. I just rounded it up. Thank you so much for checking out this review. I'm curious to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of the album. Let me know if you like this style of reviewing more than my previous style. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. This album, again, it didn't really take me by surprise. I was kind of expecting Blueface to deliver this kind of work. I was eager to hear if I would, like, my mind was open from the beginning, because I really wanted to give him a chance. I really wanted to see what he can bring in terms of an extended body of work, and in this, kind of brought it, I guess. It kind of showed what it's about. So if he's gonna bring an album, I am looking forward to hearing it's improvement. I think that's the only reason why I'm listening. I want to hear how he improves. I want to hear how he inserts himself and assert himself onto a track. But apart from that, I just ain't interested in this guy. Once again, thank you so much for checking out this review, and see you on the next review. We have new videos dropping, especially new cell reviews dropping every Wednesday and Friday, and also new podcasts coming out on Mondays and Thursdays. It's called The Statistic Pod. Don't miss that. That's where I'll be having discussions, maybe interviews, doing a bit of video essays on certain albums and stuff. So don't miss out. Thank you so much again for checking out this review, and I hope you have a good day. Peace.